Hey everyone, this is Danny Hernandez. Thank you very much for connecting. And today, yes, I want to talk about some foods that are wrong for us, but I'm talking about the regular kind of food. I was listening to this video about Jurgen Klaric saying that we gain power when we actually have control over the food that we eat or when we eat. Whenever we control those urges, we gain control, we gain power in our leadership. And he says that we cannot be like real successful entrepreneurs until we can actually have success over our urges. And I think that was very interesting because I do agree in that sense. And because of course, we need to discipline, control, especially over everything, especially over us, over our personal being. I think that's extremely, extremely important. So one of the things here is, okay, let's pay attention to that. Number two, also our bodies have immediate responses that indicate what's good and what's not good for us. For example, in my case, I didn't know that, I'm still like checking about. I think that I'm not tolerant to gluten. I don't have that tolerance, and I think that's actually something that I've been learning now because starting this year, my wife and I, just started eating a little better. Better talking about a more balanced diet, more veggies. Less meat, stuff like that. And but here the thing is, I didn't know that it was that I had that resistance or not resistance to gluten. I don't know how it's called, but the thing is that just because of that modification, I've been feeling better. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's why. But my main body is the one that said it. I didn't have to go to a doctor. I didn't have to have like these studies or anything. No. It's just that, we just changed the way that we were eating, and then, it happened, right? And so I'm just gonna keep track on that. So I might be just needing to control gluten in my life, and that's all, And I think that's worth it. Especially because I feel better. But that's not what I'm really focusing on in this video. What I want to focus on is that it's also other kinds of foods, but more like foods is like what comes in our body, more like what we feed to our bodies, also what we feed to our soul, what we feed to our spirit. Because as we also control foods, our body reacts directly. Like, for example, I cannot, oysters, I cannot eat them. I just see them and I'm like, oh, immediately my body says, don't eat that, And I don't know if this happened to you, but whenever you do something like that you eat something that you're not supposed to, that your body's saying, don't do it, you immediately vomit, you feel nauseous, you can feel dizzy, even have some fever. Your body really reacts to something that you're not supposed to eat. But the same thing happens also when you're feeding your soul, or like feeding your spirit. It really, really happens as well. So you need to be extremely, extremely careful with that, because we allow that. As the same as the oysters are there, it's in my power to take them and eat them. It's also in my power to let someone else pour some of their energy, their comments, or whatever they have into my soul, into my heart. That's also my option. And sometimes we let everyone put that, like it's just like little seeds that get into our bodies, and that they affect our performance. They affect the way that we see the world. They affect how we're going. And especially, for example, you've seen, you wake up in the morning, if you go to a place, if you're working with your boss or your coworkers in an environment that you don't like because they say these things and they mention those kind of things or stuff like this. And just waking up and going to work is just like, wow, such a task. And then you arrive there and you hear that, but you're the one, let me tell you, you're the one that is allowing that to enter you. That you're the one that is allowing that to modify your behavior. You're the one that is allowing that to modify your performance. It's not that they are forcing it in you. You still have the power to open your mouth and let it go in. You know what I mean? And sometimes we forget about that and we just take it in. We just take it in, as if it were a sponge. And we're not sponges. We know that we can learn something and learn something and pay attention to something and not pay attention to something because we have the power. And I think that's a message that is very important for us to remember, that we have the power to select what goes inside our bodies, inside our hearts, our hearts, what modifies our behavior. We are the ones that have the power for that. So please consider that, because you're extremely powerful. I'm just here to remind you about it. Yeah. And I hope this video helps you out. If it helps you people, also share it. And I would like to know what you think about this video. So please share it there in the comments. And thank you very much. I hope you have an extremely successful day today. Bye.